Okay, a little something personal about me. If you don't know me very well, I can cook beans. I'm a good bean cooker. Today is black beans. As you can see, I got a little. These peppers are a little bit spicy. It's about as hot as I can get here in Spain. Some red pepper, just because they're really. Look at how beautiful these are. That's nice. A little bit of onion. Got some chorizo, of course. Some pork rib meat. My new little trick here is garlic. I mash it up with oil and make like a garlic oil that I put in the food instead of just chopping up the garlic. These beans I bought from for Spanish people. I bought them at El Corte Inglés do Brasil. They're a much better quality than the ones you get at the local super. And I'm just using salt, and here I have ground up pepper, some dried chiles, and comino, which I don't know what it is in English now. I can't think of it. Bay leaf from a friend of mine's tree, and that'll be it for spice. A little peek at my kitchen. My pots and pans. I got a little sausage or chorizo and some salami just curing. And I'll be cooking everything with my pressure cooker today. And I know I use this expression way too much, but if you don't have a pressure cooker, you really are living like an animal. So get a pressure cooker. Cut your cooking time drastically. Okay, put a little oil in the pan, and we're going to brown the rib meat a little bit. Okay, so brown the meat just a little bit. The rib meat first, and then I'll put in the chorizo, and then I'll put in the vegetables, and then the beans, which have soaked overnight. Pretty simple process, folks, nothing to it. Okay, I've added the chorizo without the casing, so it'll just pretty much dissolve into the whole mess of things just for seasoning. One little piece of it dropped on the floor, but my floor is pretty clean. I just washed it. I don't know. What was this, October? The latest was August, so don't worry about that. Okay, next I will add my garlic, a little bit of salt and olive oil mixture. It's just kind of a paste. As I said, this just kind of liquefies the garlic, which I think it just blends in with all kinds of recipes. It's a really good little trick, and it's I invented it. I added the red pepper, onion, and the little green peppers, hot peppers, and I'm just going to let them infuse a little bit with the chorizo and the pork meat, because my doctor told me that I need to have more pork in my diet. Or I'm not supposed to eat any pork at all. I couldn't really understand the guy. He had a heart attack and he's got kind of a speech impediment, so I'm assuming he said I need to double down on the pork. Okay, at this point, if I had a bottle of wine open, I'd pour in a glass or two of red wine, but as you can see, it's 12:30 in the morning, folks, or afternoon. Even I'm not that big of a drunk to crack open a bottle of wine, because if I did, I would have a glass, and I don't want to this early. Okay, so let's just cook that a little bit more. I'm going to add some water and the beans, and that's it. Okay, please stop me if you've heard this one before, but I found my pressure cooker in the trash. And so I fished it out. I just had to replace one of the valves. Cost me like €3 at the hardware store. And I've got this lovely pressure cooker. So I'm just waiting for it. As soon as this comes to a boil, I'll set the lid on. I'm going to taste it. Before I seal it, I want to taste it for spice, make sure the proper amount of spice. And then I'll set my timer for 20 minutes. As soon as it just comes up to pressure. Okay, so it's coming to a boil. I'll put the lid on. And so the lid's on. I'll just wait for the pressure to rise. Okay, you can see the little button on top is risen. So that means it's at pressure now. What you want to do is turn the heat down about as far as you possibly can. So I'm going to move this to the back, this really puny back burner, and I'm going to cook it for 20 minutes. Okay, I don't know if you can can see, but I've got the tiniest little fire here. And one of the great things about pressure cookers is not only does it drastically reduce cooking time, but you use just the absolute minimum amount of heat during this very short cooking process. We've got another 12 minutes, 13 minutes. Okay, that's it. Take it off the heat, and then you just have to wait for you can release the pressure manually, or just wait until it cools off enough to. Yeah, I've heard people say that pressure cookers are dangerous, and my grandmother and all of her family died in a pressure cooker accident. Well, that was in the old days when they didn't have the safety features we have on these newer ones. You got a little view of my we call this the patio de luz, the light patio, just to kind of gives a little light to the interior rooms on an apartment building. This is called the Patio de Manzana, the block patio. Down here is a supermarket, Consum, and just the interior of the block. So my block goes around. Here's a square. Okay, that's it. Black beans. Kind of spicy. They actually make me choke a little bit, which is good. And I'm going to make a black bean and rice quesadilla with this. That's my plan.